Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back if you're a returning viewer to the channel. WB here, and in this video what I want to do is show you how you can leverage Endpoint Privilege Management, that's right, EPM, inside of Microsoft Intune. Remember, I ask you, if you like what you see on the channel, be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you're aware of all of the new episodes that are coming out. Remember to like, share, comments are always welcome, and continue the discussion on our community Discord server, link in the description below. What do you say? It's time. Let's go. Hello everyone, here we are on my Windows desktop, and in order to do a little configuration of Endpoint Privilege Management and get that just-in-time access, we're going to go ahead and what we're going to do is go to Endpoint Security. We are logged into the Intune Admin Center. About halfway down the list on the left-hand side, we're going to choose Endpoint Security. Couple things I want you to look for. Under the overview, scroll down and you're going to see Manage, and then under Manage, fourth down from the top, there you'll see Endpoint Privilege Management. We can see elevation, a variety of different reports here, and we can use policies to create and enable our endpoint privilege management inside of Microsoft Intune. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to choose Create Policy, and like we've seen in a variety of these wizards, we're going to select a platform. Windows is really the only one that's going to be available in this list, but we do get the ability to do an elevation rules policy or elevation settings policy. I'm going to go ahead and use the elevation settings policy template, choose Create, and that's going to walk us into and through our basic Microsoft Intune wizard. I'll go ahead and call our EPM here. Maybe I do Northwest, and we do EPM, and I do maybe 01 here. All right, remember your naming convention has to be unique to you. And we're going to choose Next, and here's where our EPM elevation settings come into play here. And you can see there are a couple of different, actually there's four different types. Three if you talk about not configured, right? So what is the default elevation response here? The fourth one really isn't a response, but it's not configured. But we have deny all, we have require user confirmation, and we have require support approval. So what's the difference here? Think about the user confirmation as being the example of the user account control of the UAC in your Windows machines. If I'm an administrative user and I go to install a piece of software, the user account control blocks me, and I can choose yes to elevate my privileges here. That's kind of what this is, right? It requires user interaction. And then we have the require support approval, right? That's what I'm going to choose because it puts it in a queue, and then your administrators have to grant that level of privilege escalation. And then do you want to send elevation data and the reporting scope? How much of that information do you want to send? Just managed elevation request only, diagnostic data, or do you want to send diagnostic data and all endpoint elevations? I'm going to go ahead and just keep the all endpoint elevations and choose Next. Here's where we could choose our scope tags if we want. I'm going to go ahead and just leave the default scope tag. Here we can add our groups. All right, so we can search our Microsoft Intra ID directory, and we can find our scopes or users or groups, and we can add them. If we wanted to do some more refined targeting on our profile, we could use assignment filters. And I could choose include or exclude, and I could say include filters in this assignment, and I could refine that even more by applying that device filter to it. We choose Next, then we have our review and create, and we can, in this, we can see our configuration summary. Keep in mind, you can make changes if you need to at this point. You can also make changes after the fact, but if you're like me and you've seen my other videos, boy, I can't type to save my life. Make sure you review these settings, especially when we talked about something like in the video for Cloud PKI, where you cannot modify the CA settings after the fact. So we'll go ahead and choose Create here. Hopefully our policy creates appropriately, and then once it's in the list, we get the ability that we could come back and we could look at the EPM policy that we've just deployed. And we can see check-in status, and as devices start to check in, we can see if they've succeeded, errors, conflicts, maybe it's not applicable. In progress, we could view a report as well as see and modify the properties. Notice it's a little bit different than some of the other ones we've checked out where you can see device assignment status and a per setting status. These, as you can tell, obviously they do not have them there. That might be something that comes up on the exam. Again, I don't know if they try to trick you there, but you know, this would be one of those where if it did say, you know, you click on your EPM profile, you look at the settings, and then you do a device assignment status, right? That's not actually there. So there you have it, a little bit more information for your studies. And as always, I ask you, if you like what you see, remember to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, like, share, and comments are always welcome. Join us on our Discord server, link in the description below. Thank you for watching.